we're starting a whole new frequency, a whole new, not just transformation, guys, because when I think of change, it's like the change of seasons. I just heard this from one of my great teachers and fellow astrologers, Rick Levine, Rick Merlin Levine. Sorry, Merlin, yeah, that's your name. But he was talking about the difference between change and metamorphosis. And I really liked his explanation because it makes sense to me. When we go through change or transformation, it's like changing seasons, right? And it happens every cycle, and the change is constant, and the change is pretty the same, right? It goes from spring, summer, autumn, and then fall or winter. But more metamorphosis is the caterpillar becoming the butterfly, literally changing forms and becoming something completely new, right? So we're in this metamorphosis time of becoming something completely new. And with that newness, we're having a new relationship with our ego and our understanding of what the ego really is, how it works, what its function is, in our consciousness. And I've got Mars, progressed Mars. I was born with Mars in Taurus at 0 degrees. But when I'm setting my progressed relocated chart, so basically where my chart is now and where I'm at now, based on, not where I was born, but where I'm located now, my progressed relocated chart has my Mars in Aries. So those of you with Mars in Aries, or, Venus is in Aries for all of us right now, Aries is the focus. And because Aries rules the ego, the id, the first part of creation, the head, the mind, how we think, our cranium, you look at the symbol of Aries, it's almost like the central point of the toroidal field and how it's starting to emerge, how the seed is starting to sprout, is how I see Aries. And so Aries, and with this trine happening with the moon in Leo right now, was really speaking to me about, can you please quit trying to kill the ego, and can you love me, and can you integrate me? So this is not about killing, because we know that death, if you follow this channel, the channel comes from all is self, and death is not what we think. This is also a part of it, that death is simply, again, the metamorphosis or the change. It has to change, disintegrate, has to go back into the soil, and then it gets transformed or metamorphosized and becomes something else. This is fermentation. And this is what happens to us on a soul level, from what I've been shown, my belief, not only my beliefs, but my knowing, because I've transitioned, it's a step-by-step process. You have to believe something until you know it. And this is what we're coming from too with the age of Pisces, is the age of belief. And now we're transitioning. This new seed point is coming to the age of knowing. So the knowing is in your DNA. It's what you already know inherently, innately, in the 8. I'm thinking of the infinity symbol, right? Innate. And when you're in the 8, you're in the middle of that infinity loop, right? So, and that's also representative of the Taurus field, which we're in the age of Taurus. Another download that came in too with, I'm thinking of the archetype of Aries and the archetype of Chiron, right? Chiron, if you go and study Chiron and who he was a master healer and teacher, and he was a centaur, right? So he was half man, half horse. And so in my own gnosis, as my own inner guidance system was helping me navigate these energies, it was showing me, if anybody studies astrology, you know that the galactic center is in Sagittarius, which is half man, half horse, right? The centaur. And the thing of it is, with the galactic center being at 27 degrees Sagittarius, excuse me, literally the centaur, right? Half man, half horse. It's in the centaur of our Taurus. Now, again, I'm going to play with the language because language is a code. So those for eyes to see and ears to hear, you're going to hear me in a different way. I'm going to speak language, but I would ask that you would tune into that higher octave frequency of what I'm saying.